What's up, friends? In this long overdue video, I will give you my 6-month ownership review of my 2017 BMW M3 with a manual transmission. So I purchased the car back in August. I drove it all the way from Wisconsin to New York City. It took me about 10 hours. I actually forgot how long it took me. But it was a very pleasant drive. It was actually the first video of my vlog that took off and kind of got me started with this channel. And now that I've had the car for 6 months, I want to share my thoughts and opinions about things that I like, things that I don't like, things that the car could improve upon, and a couple of other things. So without any further ado, one of the greatest things this car has is the power and the torque. I mean, in any gear you can just slam it and the car goes. It can get you in a lot of trouble. So this thing comes in very, very handy. But the car has plenty of power, plenty of torque. You can accelerate in 6th gear, overtake people on the highway with ease. So I love that about the car. Another thing I really love, and that was actually one of the main reasons why I chose the M3, is this manual transmission. I mean, it's one of the last remaining sports sedans with a manual transmission, and it's glorious. It's hard to describe how good it is. The throws with this M Performance shifters are great. The OEM shift knob is actually slightly higher and a bit thicker, and it's not weighted as well as this one. So it doesn't give you as good of a driving experience as this. If you opt for a manual transmission, get the M Performance shift knob. You will not regret it. I love it. Another great thing about the car that I absolutely love is the competition package. Quite frankly, I would not buy this car if it didn't have a competition package. Some people love it, some people think it's not necessary. To me, it was absolutely necessary to have the competition package. Why? Because it gives you, not only gives you the improved suspension, which is lowered and stiffer, it gives you a black trim around the car, badges, the window trim, the grills. It also gives you two things that I absolutely love and I could not live without, which are these seats that have these cool holes in the back. They don't serve any function, but they look really cool. And obviously the exhaust. I mean, how can you not love the competition package exhaust? It sounds glorious when the valves are open. It sounds terrible when the valves are closed. But that's why a lot of times I keep the valves open, unless I wake up in the morning and leave at a crack of dawn. I don't want to wake the neighbors. But take a listen to that and let me know what you think. How amazing was that? Yes, I have to say, at certain RPM, you get that farting noise. But I feel like this is something that I can live with. I really don't mind the fact that the exhaust is kind of channeled through the speakers. I never listen to the radio, so this is my music. I absolutely love it. Another thing I really love about the car is the sunroof. Some people hate the fact that I have the sunroof because the center of gravity is higher and you're not going to be performing as well at the track. But you know what? I don't care about it because, one, it allows me to mount this GoPro, and two, I really love the extra visibility. You get a lot of sun during the day. You can poke your head through it. It's really a great option that I'm really happy that I have. I took the car to a racetrack back in November, and it was a night and day difference compared to what I used to drive, which was my 2004 Volvo S60R. The combination of power, rear-wheel drive, manual transmission was absolutely glorious, and I can't wait to go back again. I registered for the next event in April with the BMW Club of America, so stay tuned for that. track driving is not the only great thing about this car. Winter driving is also phenomenal. I took this car on the road on a couple of wintry days. I added some weight in the trunk, and you can really have a lot of fun if you have winter tires, which I do. So if you're thinking about driving this car into winter, you have to have winter tires, because otherwise you'll be slipping and sliding. But no complaints so far when it comes to winter driving. Bottom line is, this is a perfect sports sedan for me. It's a great daily driver. It's a tremendous family car. It's a great track driving car, and it's got a manual transmission. What else can you say? Now, having said that, the car is not all perfect. If I had my way and I could design this car the perfect way, I would give it the exhaust flap button. I would like the exhaust to be controlled by me, not by the throttle position option that I select. Same thing with the rev matching button. I would like to have the ability to rev match whenever I can, and have the computer rev match it for me, no matter what the exhaust valve position they are. So that's that really. I would like the suspension to be a lot more noticeable. Currently, when you switch in between Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus, they're not really noticeable. Maybe it's because of my lowering springs, but I wish the suspension modes were a lot more pronounced. Speaking of more pronounced, even though I love the seats, I wish the seats had an adjustable lumbar support. They look great, they feel great, but on longer drives, the seats just seem slightly a bit uncomfortable. I would like my back to be supported kind of in the middle, which is the adjustable lumbar support. I don't know why the competition seats don't have them, but it would be phenomenal if I could adjust my my lumbar. Things that kind of bother me about the car is I wish there was a way to combine the 360 camera with a rear view camera. The 360 camera is absolutely terrific. I love it. I use it all the time. It helps me back out of my my garage and back into parking spots, but I still have to turn around sometimes to see what's behind me. It would be great if I could combine 360 with a rear view camera. That would be the perfect combination. And last but not least, I'm kind of disappointed about the dealership experience. When I took the car in for service, for the 10,000 mile service a couple of months ago, I was actually blown away at how nasty the service department was. When I took my other car to the Volvo dealership, for example, it was a night and day difference. When you take your car to a Volvo dealership, you feel like a king. When I took my pretty expensive BMW to a dealership, I was treated like a schmuck. So the dealer visit was just a scheduled dealer visit, regular maintenance, nothing out of the ordinary. Ever since then, I've developed some issues which I will need to have the dealer address. The issues are the following. The horn sounds very weak. Apparently it's a common problem with these cars where the horn kind of gives up, and the dealer has to fix it. I could probably fix it myself. I just don't feel like doing it. So I'll have the car taken to the dealer and have the dealer inspect it. Another issue, a lot of times the GPS loses its position and it's hard for the car to find where it's going. It shows me that I'm completely off the road. So I don't know if it's related to my carbon fiber antenna cover, or is it something else, but I'm gonna have to have it addressed. So other than the small windshield crack that I've developed while driving on the highway, I really had no other issues. There's nothing that really cost me out of pocket. The windshield fix cost me $10 on Amazon. But other than that, the car has been flawless. The 10,000 mile oil service has been covered by the dealer. I'm gonna do the 15,000 mile service myself.
Onto I-280 East.
Thank you. Just because I like to change my oil every 5,000 miles, so that I'll be paying out of pocket because it's out of cycle. But other than that, the car's been great. I'm just putting gas in it, and it goes. Speaking of gas, to those of you interested, on the highway, when I really milk it, I can get 27 miles to the gallon.
In 1/4 of a mile, bear right toward Garden State Parkway.
Okay, we'll cancel you now. But I never milk it. I always drive the car in a fun way. So the average I get is about 18-19 miles to the gallon. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. It could be worse. But the way I look at it is, and people have said it many times, it's not miles per gallon, but it's smiles per gallon. So I definitely get a lot of smiles per gallon. Now, this wouldn't be an enthusiast-owned car if I didn't modify it. So this is my short list of modifications, none of which have voided the warranty. I refuse to void the warranty by doing a tune and everything else. I feel like the car has plenty of power. Maybe once the warranty runs out and I still own the car, maybe I'll tune it. But for now, it's great, and it's actually going to give me a great baseline to compare this car to some other cars that I'm going to be driving. So that's why I'm not going to modify it extensively. What I've done so far is I've done lowering springs with spacers. They give the car a great look, and probably slightly improved handling, but it's mostly for the look. I don't know how I like those springs at the track. I have to go again and see if I might not have to replace them with a set of coilovers. That would actually only void the suspension warranty. So no issues for me there. I've tinted the car. I've got 15 in the back window and 35 on the sides, and that gives me just enough protection from the sun, and it kind of keeps me away from all the cops harassing me if I went with something darker like 15 all around. I installed a dash cam front and back, and I also installed a radar detector, both of which are hardwired, so there's no wires dangling in my way. I'm driving using an improved brake fluid as well as upgraded brake pads. The brake pads are made by Ferodo DS2500, I believe, and they are great. They squeak a little bit when called, not always, but they give you a slightly better bite than OEM, and they are great at the track, so that's why I'm using them. I've also upgraded the exhaust tips to slightly larger diameter ones, purely for the looks. They kind of fill the rear area slightly better. I also did the intakes, but I went with K&N drop-in intakes, and I also removed the charcoal filters. That gives you a slight turbo whistle when you're outside of the car, and it probably gives you a few more extra horsepower. I didn't really notice anything. Maybe now I don't, but it was just cool to install a set of intakes on the car. Since the car is not optioned with LED headlamps, I have regular xenon headlamp bulbs. I had to upgrade the light bulbs, so I went with slightly brighter ones, and so far I'm very happy with them. They're not like LED bulbs, but they do the job, and they improve my night driving experience, which is great. To kind of be comfortable with the exterior of the car, I had the roof wrapped black to kind of not give me the carbon fiber look, but to match the other black accents that I have on the car, which are the carbon pieces. I fitted the car with front carbon pieces, the lip splitters, the upper splitters. I have the side skirts, I have the mirrors, and I have the diffuser and the trunk lip. All of that combined give me a pretty nice exterior look, and so wrapping the roof was a no-brainer. On the inside, I upgraded the car with a couple of M Performance interior bits. I've upgraded the steering wheel, which I'm really, really happy about. I do not miss heated steering wheel at all. Alcantara is great. The steering wheel now feels fantastic. I don't know how I lived without it for 5 months. I actually cannot look at a normal M3 or an M4 with the regular steering wheel. I feel like this is a no-brainer upgrade, and anyone looking for an upgrade, you should probably do that soon, because it's an improved driving experience. Speaking of improved driving experiences, this elbow rest is also made by M Performance. The handbrake lever, which is also M Performance, and this guy, the shift boot, the stitching doesn't match the M Performance stitching. Even though this is an M Performance boot, I will probably have to go aftermarket, because there are aftermarket companies that make a replacement boot that matches the stitching. Going back to the outside, I am driving on winter tires. I consider that an upgrade. You cannot drive this car during the winter without winter tires. I've also fitted the car with front mud flaps. So far they've been great, and I've noticed that the splashing is a lot less on the side. So I will keep them on for as long as I can. Maybe I'll even make a set of extended ones. We'll see. Completing the outside, I got a custom license plate that I'm very happy that it wasn't taken. I also put my channel decals on the front and the back of the car, and those are the only decals I'm probably gonna put on the car. I don't necessarily like to over sticker my car, and those two are probably going to be the only ones that I'll put on the car. And last but not least, this being a daily driver and a family car, I have my baby seat in the back. So this was my general impression of the car in the 6 months that I've owned it. And just to show you that it's a daily driver, I actually pulled up to my local Home Depot now, and I'm gonna be getting some stuff in it. So it is a daily driver that I absolutely love. Couple of, I guess, funny things to leave you with. The car is equipped with these front bumper cameras, which are absolutely useless. They're meant to be used when you're pulling out of these tight streets and you just poke your nose out, but I never use them, and I feel like they're more confusing than anything else. So if you're considering them, don't look forward to using them, because you won't be using them as much as you think. Second thing is, I never listen to the radio. The exhaust is so fantastic, the driving experience is so great that I never have to listen to the radio. So that's been the case with my previous cars as well. As long as you have a great driving experience and a nice sounding exhaust, you will not need the radio. And I also, just like many of you enthusiasts out there, I always look back when I leave the car. I look back to make sure it's parked the right way. I make sure that the car is still mine. I pinch myself every time I look at it, but every time I walk away from it, I do the whole look back thing, and I say, you know what, I'm a lucky guy to own a car like this. It's been a great car so far, a great family car. I get compliments on it all the time. People love the color. People love all the carbon fiber bits. I get a lot of compliments on them actually all the time. So that's kind of cool. This car, or the love for this car, allows me to pursue my other passion, which is doing this and sharing videos on YouTube. So thank you to all of you who subscribed. If you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe. I have a lot of content in the past and coming up, so, and I hope you enjoy it. I've also attended some interesting car meets. There's this great BMW club that I've joined called Embassy Car Club. Give them a follow on Instagram at Embassy Car Club, Embassy Cars. I'll put it in the description. But it's a great group of guys. Everyone supports each other, and you can learn a lot. You can get discounts on parts. It's sort of like a one family community, which is awesome. So in a nutshell, this has been my experience with my 2017 BMW M3 with a manual transmission and a competition package. If you are looking to get one, do it. You will not be disappointed. You will be disappointed with the fact that you do not drive it enough, which is the case with me. But other than that, you'll be very happy. So on that note, I wanted to thank you for watching, and if you're not yet a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.